Aphelios wants to go for a game this turn. Special summoning Canahawk. Yeah, the Ritual Beast Aphelio. We're going to banish the Link pushes every Ritual Beast monster by 500 by banishing one from the graveyard, which triggers the Lara. I think we can
an attack boost not the same.
Banish the Lara.
Where do we
special
go
summoning
from here?
Canahawk from.
I think we can go for it.
We're going to banish the Link monster. Interestingly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Banishing
Small attack boost.
two Lara.
An attack boost not the same.
Lara,
Where
by the way,
do we
is
go
a
from
beast
here?
entertainer.
I think we
Nice.
can
So
go
it
for
works for
it.
both.
Okay,
Which is something that I had to find out the hard way too. Yeah.
Nice.
And Aphelios attack two Lara for the entire turn.
Honestly, like
Lara, by the way, is
Lara,
a
very,
beast
very
entertainer.
card.
Such as
Nice.
so it works for
Accessible
both,
via
which is
emergency
something
teleport as
that I
well
had to
in the
find out
worst
the
case
hard way
scenario.
too.
Just
It's such a strong card. And Aphelios attack release, I think,
3
for the
months ago.
entire turn.
honestly,
Right
like,
after the
Ritual
WCS.
Beast Tamer Lara, very, very
I
powerful
believe
card.
that
Would
was
have
a
been
strong card.
accessible
2
via
months
emergency
ago
teleport
with
as well in the worst case scenario.
with the Tempai
Just-
Dragon. Yeah, such a strong card. Such a strong deck. Has been released. And also like a fan favorite. I think a lot of people love Ritual Beast.
Very difficult to pilot, but
Yeah.
very rewarding once you are able to remember the combo lines. And actually, speaking of combo lines being
think this
remembered,
is
the
game.
Labyrinth one actually has now resolved, and T2S did win in Duel B.
And I think the Ritual Beast player also has game on board here. I think there's no card realistically that could stop the OTK now.
Let's see. The Snake Eye Melodious from Lesty was so good at establishing itself in that first game, but fell short against Labyrinth. This time around, doesn't even get a chance to set up properly, just gets shut out of the game by Mount and this Ritual Beast deck. Can this attack connect? Will the next ones connect too? Let's see. There's one.
I'm asking myself at the moment what interruptions we do.
T2S to match point. It pushes T2S to 1 win away from the grand finals.
So now it comes all down to Abo against P3. And looking at the current game state, I think it depends on if the Lubellion is resolving or not. It's not okay.
Match point. Tempai Dragon Fadra now.
Okay, let's see what we have. I think if there is a Rimbrum in the graveyard together with an Albas,
Yeah.
I think we can clear the entire field by discarding a card.
The 2 branded Lost, by the way. Tell me a bit about what they're currently doing.
So Lost is usually played at 1 because you can search it off Lubellion, for example. If you summon Lubellion, you can just place it in your spell and trap zone.
Yep.
And what makes Lost super good is that your opponent cannot negate the activation of fusion summons and their effects. And if you have
Rimbrum was in the graveyard, as you mentioned.
yeah, Rimbrum is okay. So let's switch the topic real quick.
Okay,
Rimbrum,
let's go.
Banish itself. Special summon Albas. Albas effect, discard a card. Right
Albas
after the
usually-
WCS, fuses away 1 monster from
I
the field.
believe that
But
sent the Guiding Clem, the Virtuous. Where do we
months
go
ago,
from
2
here?
months, you just
Outballs
use
from the Inferno
every
to
card on the
Wow.
field to
Such a strong
summon
deck.
the Alba Lenatus, which requires, and also like a fan favorite. I think a lot of people
Albas
love and
Ritual
1
Beast.
or more dragon monsters.
Very difficult
Okay,
to
just
pilot,
wait on
but
that.
very rewarding once
But
you
we
are
have a
able
right
to
key here. And the
remember
last card then should
the
be
combo
Kaiman,
lines.
right?
And actually, speaking of combo lines being
I think this
remembered,
is
the
game.
Labyrinth one actually has now resolved.
no, it's
and
not Kaiman.
T2S did win
And
in
now
Duel
main
B.
phase 3
And I
for
think
the Ritual Beast player also has
Alba
game on
Lenatus
board here. I think there's no
searching your
card of realistic
Fusion
card.
deployment. Yep.
Any
So
fusion
use
card,
that.
by the way.
Okay.
Okay now.
So I think in this case the fusion
Let's
deployment
see.
is used with the Granguignol, the Dust Dragon in the extra deck to get the blazing
Snake
Cartesia
Eye
of the
Melodious
You can summon
from
Cartesia.
Lesty
I
was so
think
good
there's a way
at
to
establishing
summon.
itself in
I
that
don't know if
first
there's a way to
game,
summon
but
Quem,
fell
but Albas
short
for sure.
against Labyrinth. This
But
time
usually
around,
you go
doesn't
for,
even get a chance
Cartesia
to
or
set
Albas.
up properly, just gets shut
And
out
now
of the
7
game by
cards
Mount
in hand
and
against
this
it, just
Ritual
1 single
Beast
card and
deck.
P3 sand.
Can this attack connect? Will the next ones connect
We're
too?
starting
Let's see.
off with a
There's one.
Cartesia, which we can special summon because we have
I'm
a
asking
fusion monster in
myself
the
at the
graveyard.
moment,
Remember that
Instructions
if
we do even have. I think there is
T2S do
none.
take
We have
this,
doubles as
they
well.
will win, and
And
they
they
do manage to
be
qualify for the finals here.
Yeah.
100 life points there in remaining series of games. If Maut can get this, it pushes T2S to match point. It pushes T2S to one win away from the grand finals.
And now it just has all down to Abo against P3 with also like looking at the current game state I True Draco deck. And
I mean, True Draco was still really cool to see.
Yeah, it depends
Masterpiece,
on the
True Draco
finally back again.
Yeah.
It's not okay. The Snake Game Melodious deck just struggles with one thing, and that's
Tempai Dragon Fadra now.
Saw. Actually, two things. Going second. Okay, let's see what we have. I think so. While you put up a huge board at the end, you kind of struggle to put up that board under Maxi, or if you go second because you're clear the entire field cards by discarding a card.
The two branded lost.
So you want to go first. You want to set up that board. So loss is usually played at 1. Yeah, because you can search it.
Well, we've had a fantastic day of games so far, and it's all come down to the top.
And what makes loss
we'll jump into that in just a little bit, but until then, why don't we talk a bit more about the super cool decks that we've just seen.
And if you
Rimbrun was in the graveyard, as you mentioned,
okay,
it was so nice to see. Okay, Destructive Daruma, Karma Cannon, the simultaneous equation cannons, all of that good stuff.
Fuses away one from the field.
The ritual beast now, showing that is one of the decks
you just use every card on the field. So to summon,
we talked about the
Alba Lenatus, which requires earlier, which requires and Ritual Beast is one if it goes first, more Dragon Monsters really well into hand traps, so you can just use.
We will actually now jump into the other
Geki here.
Game
last card
of the semifinal. Yeah, of the semifinals here, and the score is currently 4 victories.
No, it's not Diamond.
FSN,
and now main phase 3 for
1 game away from qualifying to the finals as well.
Searching your
this is fusion deployment. So usually wins so far. So I think in this case the fusion deployment is used with the Grunganyor in this series right now. Actually, the Blazing Cartesia, the virtually decent position. There's Sungen summoning, Heretic Seal, and
I don't know if there's a way to summon
Tempai Dragon on the field does mean that it's not the
usually you go for Cartesia or Albas. There's also a Fucho on the board, and now 7 cards in hand against it. Just one single card in P3. It's a bird. That's why
almost Flunderies.
Almost Flunderies. And the Fucho is starting just a card that with a Tempai deck cannot deal with. It just will
give you summon because it's been linked away. But remember that if P2S do take this, they will win, and they do.
Make sure we go to turn 3.
The finals
and
here.
now the game plan works. We get rid of the back row, and all we have to deal with now is this was a really nice match overall. And I think in round 1.
And one Sungen Kaiman.
Now with one more Sungen Kaiman against the Snake Game Melodious. I think that was a really nice game. And now we just had 3-0 sweep of P2S. So with Boss also like had to know that countering the True Draco he was playing against
I mean, True Draco was still will summon itself. Masterpiece, the True Draco
finally back again.
Yeah. Potentially.
The Snake Game Melodious deck just struggles with one thing, and that's I think something we just saw. Actually, 2 things. I'm just enjoying the epic music right now that's being played. So while you put up a huge board at the end,
epic music,
you kind of struggle
epic gameplay. Draw and lock third for good measure there, just to prevent Boss from adding any further Fire King or Snake Eye cards to the hand.
So you can win. So here the problem for Boss is that he has to deal with that board this turn. If he doesn't, he will just lose the following turn. Because the follow-up is just too strong. We have a Genroku, which can be any Tempai monster. We have a Chundra, which is the most dangerous Tempai monster out there.
I know we
have a Sealed.
Because it was so
and we are now also underdrawn Lockbird.
I think we're also seeing another Snake Eye Fire King maybe versus Tempai Dragon?
It is
the Ritual Beast now.
I don't know what the monster is on the left. I think the white one is
in this tournament.
Fadra,
yeah.
We talked about. I think I talked with Lampy about Ritual Beast earlier, and Ritual Beast tell what the monster on the left. If it goes first, it plays really well into hand traps.
We will actually now jump into the other. Here we go. A lot of thinking to be done here.
Final.
Yeah, of the semi-finals.
Again, you said it yourself. If Doggy can make it through this turn, he can turn it around with the Tempai Dragon damage.
1 game away from qualifying to the finals as well. Versus AF2, who are at 3 wins so far. Can Doggy even up the score.
Here we go,
in
the
this
Link
series
summoning
right
now coming through.
Actually,
Nightmare Phoenix and Link Rubel will make Promethean Princess Bestower of Flames.
Heretic Seal
Doesn't need anything to be added to the hand, so can play through the Droll and Lockbird, but where do we go? Snake Eyes Flambear's Dragon also coming out in Duel B at the same time. The Snake Eyes players are feeling the pressure, but they are turning up their heat.
Almost Blunderies. And the Fujo is just a card that the Vampire deck cannot deal with.
So
Dragon now?
other monster on the field is a Grandtas Dragon.
But we are on turn 3.
True.
So we did Fujo
Please
on turn 1
elaborate.
to make sure we go into turn 3.
It's a side deck card in the TCG that Vampire likes.
Works. We get rid of the back row, and all we have to deal with now is Seals can special summon that on the opponent's turn.
Shundra.
And then that's
and one Sung
on top of the
Kaiman.
one bounce that you have from Seals,
you can also pop 2 cards.
So it's a really strong card. And there is only a Flumber's Dragon. Boss had to know that
he was
FSN will take that
Again, Rocket will summon itself. So if FSN do manage to take that game, they will take the series and they will take on the other team.
2TS.
T2S?
Yeah. And
T2S in the grand final.
Being played.
FSN now one game away from taking on T2S in the grand
gameplay.
finals.
Draw
and
lead
Challenger
for good
Cup
measure there,
1,000 days qualifier from crowning the best team of this tournament. We've seen so many good games, we've seen so much good gameplay, and it continues to unfold on your screens right now. Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames, gonna be what Boss opts for here to keep FSN in the lead and to secure that place in the finals, but he's hoping that Duel B is going smoother than this one, because right now, Doggy is actually holding on pretty strong for AF2.
I think Doggy is favored in this game.
I think we're also seeing another Snake Eye Viking
from looking
versus Tempai Dragon?
Game. It is. Yeah. I think FSN is going to win this.
I don't know
even though Doggy might still win this game, but FSN will take the set.
Fadra, yeah, I thought so.
So Pydra hits the field on the other Duel. Tell what the monster on the left is.
T2S waiting in the finals for one of these teams. So which one will it be?
We got a lot of thinking.
We are going to find out very, very, very shortly. We now
again,
see
you said it yourself. If
Link can make it through this Salamander Raging Phoenix, you have to imagine will eventually lead into the World Sea Dragon, Zealantis, that classic combo in tandem with the Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames. That tremendous amount of damage. You said it yourself. Boss cannot let this go to another turn. He has to finish the game here. Otherwise, the Tempai Dragon is going to strike back. Doesn't need anything to be added to the hand, so can play through the Droll and Lockbird, but where do we go? Right now, Snake Eyes Flambear's Dragon also coming out in Duel B at the same time. The Snake Eyes players are feeling the pressure, but they are